Hello and welcome back to another week of online personal training. We're doing another full body circuit similar to last week's style. Here's a quick snapshot of the workout. We'll go over all the movements again, but we'll go ahead and get into a quick warm-up. Hello, hoping you all are safe and healthy. From here we'll go ahead and get into our at-home workout with a nice little warm-up. So starting off, we'll just do 25 jumping jacks. After our 25 jumping jacks, we'll go ahead and go into our arm circles. Shooting to do 10 small going in one direction, then 10 big. From there, all we're going to do is just reverse the direction after that. Next exercise we got to warm up, we're just going to do a knee hug to a heel sweep, so we're pulling that knee up to that chest, putting that front leg out nice and straight and sweeping as low as we can from that heel to the toe, shooting to do 10 total. After that, we'll go on to all fours into a tabletop position, and we will do 10 bird dogs, alternating sides as we go. With this, our goal is to keep that core nice and tight, extending through that back leg and that front arm, opposite arm and leg. From there we got the T-spine rotations, shooting to drive that elbow to the opposite elbow, just opening up that chest and that back. Once we finish up with those, we will just go ahead and stand back up, and we'll shoot to do 25 more jumping jacks just to get the body moving again. So again, here's a quick snapshot of the workout. Just like last week, we're going to do active sessions of work and rest. So the standard workout that I'm going to recommend to be 30 seconds of work and 30 seconds of rest for 3 to 4 sets. But if you want to make it more of a challenge, we can go to 40 seconds of work and 20 seconds of rest. First exercise we have is Russian twist. Like we've done before, keeping our chest up, trying to keep those legs fairly steady. We go side to side with those hands. To make it a little bit easier, if we have back problems, we can bring that chest up off the ground and shoot to go side to side, touching the heels or the ankles. If we wanted to make it a little bit more challenging, we could go ahead and grab any object to add some weight and shoot do the same exact motion from that seated position. Next up, we just have a standard push-up. With this, making sure we keep those elbows relatively close to the body. We're just going to come up and down. To make this exercise a little bit easier, we can go onto the knees, still making sure our hands are underneath of our shoulders, still lowering ourselves down and pushing right back up. To make this exercise a little bit harder, we can do what's called a tempo push-up. So with this, we're still in that regular push-up position, but we're going to slowly lower ourselves down. We can pause for a second at the bottom and then bring ourselves back up. From here, we'll go ahead and do Supermans. With this, we'll be laying on our belly, just basically squeezing those muscles on the back to bring our arms and legs up off the floor. To make this exercise a little bit easier or a little bit less strain on the back, we can do the bird dog, which we've done in our warm-ups. Just trying to keep that core nice and tight and extending opposite arm and leg out. And if we wanted to make this exercise a little bit harder, we could always go into a hold and rock while in that Superman position, just making sure we brace that core and breathe throughout the entire exercise. After that, next one we'll have is just step-ups. So with this, still making sure we have proper alignment in that knee and ankle at 90 degrees. We're just going to step up and drive through that top leg, up on top of the platform or stair, and drive back down. To make this exercise easier, we can go ahead and just decrease the height of our step. If we wanted to make it harder, we could always increase the height of that step, or as I'm going to demonstrate here, we can just hop at the top of our steps. Back to another exercise that we've already done before, we're doing the tricep dips, making sure we have a nice steady object to hold ourselves up on. We'll go ahead and extend our legs straight out, keeping the chest up. We'll lower ourselves down and press ourselves back up, trying to use the triceps on the back of the arms. To make this exercise easier, it's the same exact motion, but all we have to do is just bend the knees. To make it harder, we can do one of two things. First thing is just elevate the legs on another steady surface, same exact motion. If we want to make it a little bit more challenging, if we grab two sturdy chairs or objects or countertops, we can go ahead and basically suspend ourselves between the two until we focus on lowering ourselves down in the exact same motion. Next exercise we have is just going to be a glute bridge, keeping our heels nice and close to our butt. We'll brace our core, drive through our heels, and raise our hips up to the ceiling. To make this exercise a little bit easier, we can just take the weight away, shooting the same exact motion. And the harder version for the exercise this week, we're going to do what's called a glute bridge march. So with this, we'll step up, we'll march our legs up and out, almost like the single leg bridge, except just making sure we hold ourselves up at the top while marching those legs. From there, we'll go into a plank. While I know they're not the most fun, they're still a great exercise for you, making sure we keep our back nice and flat, core braced, hips slightly tucked up to help keep that core engaged. We'll hold it there. To make it easier, we can go from the knees. Just take a little bit of weight off the body. If we want to make it harder, we can do what's called hip dips with this. So still keeping the core nice and tight, our goal is to try to bring our hips to the ground on each side, alternating as we go. Last exercise we got is just going to be an elevated calf raise. You can use stairs or any small surface. If that's too much on the legs, we can always go from the floor, and we can use something to balance if we need to. If we wanted to make these harder, we could use single leg. I'm just demonstrating from an elevated surface, but it can also be done from the floor. And then after we've done all of our circuits, we'll shoot to do a nice little cool down with some static stretching. Starting off, we'll shoot to do a nice little quad pull. If we can and have the balance, feel free to reach at the top. If we need to, feel free to grab a wall and still do that same pull. From there, we'll go into our sitting hamstring stretch, grabbing onto whatever we can to help pull down. After that, we'll go into hip flexor stretch, making sure we push forward onto that front leg to make a nice little stretch to that hip flexor, which I point out right here. And also, we just want to make sure we switch legs with everything, so both legs get a good nice little stretch. So after this, we'll go into the doorway stretch. So with this, all we gotta do is post our arms up onto the doorway and lean in and let the body stretch its sort of stuff out with some gravity. So feel free to vary up the angles of the arms to help get a stretch on the muscles that you feel like need it the most. Once we're done with those, we can go ahead and use the doorway as well to grab onto the side and sort of pull our body across that arm to stretch out the back a little bit more as well. As always, here's another quick snapshot of the workout so you can see everything that I covered. Hope you all stay safe and healthy, and I hope that this workout helps. Have a great day.